Okay, now back to chapter number 1, because we try to get here. We try to get to the manifest. You know, we in the manifest, but how did we get here? So page 5, the top of page 5, the third sentence, when it starts upon the boundary. Slide, Moorish. Upon the boundary. Third sentence. All right. It says, upon the boundary of the plane of soul, the ether, once again, ether is a rarefied substance that permeates all space and it vibrates. A rarefied substance that permeates all space and it vibrates. The ether began to vibrate slower still. And then the essences took on a final garb. The perfumes and odors. See, we got to talk about these things. And as we move forward in the lesson, we'll get more in depth. A perfume and an odor, you can't see a perfume or odor. But you can give off an odor, a smell. In other words, we're talking about vibration and energy. You may go around a certain group who in their lower self, they give off an odor. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to go that way. I don't know about that. But on the converse side, you may be amongst a very pleasant, happy group that gives off an odor, a perfume. Because it's the energy there. And I'll talk more about it as we move forward. But the point is that the perfumes, these odors, and the true sensations, these are senses, and the all of love were clothed in flesh. And man was clothed in flesh. Isn't that something? This is the fall of man. When the physical appeared. So we talked about during the lessons about these, the body is composed of tissues and organs, cells, molecules, atoms, subatomic particles, which is energy. We talked about how in the nucleus of the cell you have DNA. DNA is information, okay, that we inherit from our mother and our father. But as we go back to the ancestors' ancestors, we're going back to the Garden of Eden. We're going back to the Adams and the Eves, the Asiatics and the Muslims. And even before the physical part of man was formed in flesh, we're tracing ourselves back to again. Perfumes, odors, true sensations, and the all of love. Prior to being clothed in flesh. Islam? So we're dealing with energy. We're dealing with vibration. We're dealing with frequency. Everything that we can imagine within the material universe was the result of the sun. The noblest image of Almighty God Allah. Do you know what you are? And this is why we go over this, so we can realize how wonderful we are, how beautiful we are. We are actually, biological, living light. You know that, brothers and sisters. Isn't that wonderful to know? that we are biological living light. My brother. Come on, my brother. Come on, my brother. You see? Because the planets, our Earth, the plants, cells, are all the result of the sun. What is the sun? The sun is vibration.
Right, it's a star.
Exactly. That's so wonderful to know. Just, what was it, last night, coming home, I told my daughters to look up in the sky. I said, hey, all the one of those stars, those lights in the sky, those are suns. The sun is the name of the star in our solar system. And when you look up, you're actually looking back in time, because it takes a certain amount of time for that light to reach us. 186,000 miles per second is slow in comparison to thought. So what we're looking at, the sun as it is at this moment, however you conceive a moment, does not exist that way.
Right.
Okay? So the sun was formed by way of molecular clouds. Hydrogen. We're talking about atoms. We're talking about energy. Okay? It, through gravity, it condensed into what it looks like as that circular mass of hydrogen and helium that is self-generating by way of the weak nuclear force. Remember the four forces: strong force, weak force, gravity, electromagnetism. The sun is the result of the weak nuclear force. As the sun vibrates into existence, it emits the light. It has its own life cycle. It explodes into a supernova. That's why our bodies, everything in our bodies, we're composed of everything in the universe. Because as the sun explodes, and all of those particles, all of these molecules and these atoms, which are genes that spread out throughout the universe, gets caught within a gravitational pull of another sun. And once it's in that gravitational pool, it circulates and it condenses to become the Earth as we know it.
That's why the scientific is a Big Bang theory.
We're dealing with vibration and energy here.
Like the Big Bang.
We're dealing with energy,
right,
and vibration and frequency.
Right, that's not true.
Our bodies are the result of that, which is why we are biological living light. Islam.
Islam. Rise give our praise Allah to the Prophet. Just the camel walk. There are no accidents in the universe.
No.
We are no accidents.
No.
There are no accidents that happen.
No.
We come from that divine light.
Yes.
And it's that divine thought.
Yes.
Allah.
Yes.
So the Big Bang Theory has no bearing in our teachings at all.
Right.
That's a European philosophy
Islam.
that we do not subscribe to.
Islam.
That's talking about accidental existence.
No.
And there are no accidents in this universe.
That's right. That's right. Peace. Praise Allah. Islam. Question, my sister? Yes.
So this camel walking, what you said too. So the sun is actually moving around the earth, correct?
No, we're revolving around the sun. We are actually within the gravitational pull of the sun. Yes.
So the sun is not moving?
Oh yeah, it's vibrating.
Okay, that's all.
Yes, it's vibrating.
It's not moving around.
Right. We're revolving around it.
Oh, okay. I got
Okay.
it.
Yes.
Good.
Absolute Islam.
It's not. Right now, as they say in science, China or anything on the opposite side of the sun is dark. So as it turns
Yes.
to light, when it gets dark here, it gets sunny over there. That's a time frame, like a time thing. So the sun don't move.
Yes.
It don't move for us. We're moving on the axis. So it goes
yes.
around. It goes around and up. So
And this is why our language is actually archaic. We say sunrise, sunset. The sun doesn't rise nor set. The earth is rotating, depending upon your location. That's right. It's either daylight or nighttime because of the rotation of the sun.
Right, it doesn't move the sun.
Okay? No, absolutely not. Okay? So, this is how the physical manifests. And this is how we are biological in life. Now, Brother King Curdy Bay, he brought up a very good point about how we are made. And we got to talk about this. Because a lot of us are still under European psychology. And we don't love ourselves. We hate ourselves because we don't understand our origins nor the purpose of our biological chemical makeup. Islam Moorish. So when a brother says melanin, he's right. Melanin is very, very important, brothers and sisters. It's very, very important. Okay? And this is all a part of know thyself. Okay? This is part of knowledge of self. Melanin, it goes deeper than simply being cosmetic. Now we are the melanated beings. And because of that, we are a beautiful people. Asiatics are so beautiful, so full of life. And this is why our skin is not black. We're not black. We're not brown. None of those things. No colors. Because that's an illusion too. What the shade of our skin is olive. What this is I live. This is the hue of life itself. Melanin is so very important. You know you could not live without melanin. We'd all be dead. Couldn't survive without it. Soon as the baby is conceived, that sperm goes into that egg, and you have that embryonic stage that the baby goes through. Well, that embryonic stage, there are 3 levels to that being, that spirit coming in the physical once again. And the layers are the endoderm, the ectoderm, and the mesoderm. Within the ectoderm, it is covered with melanin. It is a melanated layer of cells over the ectoderm. Now the ectoderm is very important because the ectoderm evolves to become your cerebral cortex. Come on now. So melanin is so very important, and I use this word lightly too. Because I agree with Dr. Sabi. Dr. Sabi is one of the greatest minds to ever exist in our time. I don't agree with all of his positions about history and all of that stuff, but medicine and healing?
Yes,
that brother was no joke. And he said, somebody asked him, what's melanin, Dr. Sabi? He said, I don't know what that is. I don't know what melanin is.
That's right.
But I know what the molecule is. That's it. Melanin is melanin, but it's what it is. It's a molecular compound.
Right.
So he said he don't know what this is right here, but this is the molecular compound of melanin. This is how we know everything is one. All life is one. Our biological makeup is a traceable phenomenon in the cosmos. All right? Because we went through this right here. So what melanin is carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen. This is the chemical, this is the molecular structure of melanin. Right there. Isn't that wonderful?
Why did they give it that name milk?
Because that means they define as dark. Okay, dark or black. Some say black. That's why I'm real careful with that word. Okay? But this, yes. This is what, right here? Carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen.
Okay.
It's a molecular structure. These are atoms. Atoms are composed of energy. This is so very important. It goes way beyond cosmetic, looking good. That's almost like a byproduct, if you will. Okay? Looking good. Praise Allah, Asiatics are beautiful people. However, it goes much deeper than that. Because this is, yes, it's on your epidermis. However, almost every organ in your body is composed of melanin. See, a lot of times we focus on the outside, but it's also on the inside. Which is why you have different forms of melanin. You have eumelanin, EU. Pheomelanin, PHEO, which is recessive. And you also have neuromelanin. Brothers, hear what I'm saying. Sisters, hear what I'm saying. Neuromelanin. We're talking about the brain. For the Woods Hill Como.
Islam going along with the melanin, everything that's pretty much alive has some form of melanin.
Yes. Yes.
There's a misconception that people who are of European descent don't have melanin.
Yeah.
That's a misconception. They
Islam.
do have melanin.
Islam.
But it's just not at
Right.
the same amount that we have.
Right.
So, like you said, melanin is essentially energy at that.
Islam.
And what makes our skin lighter or a lighter olive or a darker olive is the melanocyte cells that
Right.
are in the melanin. And
Right.
that is what determines the shade of your skin.
Islam.
With that, I say peace.
Peace. And all of this we're talking about is a part of Allah's creation. This is how Allah made us. And this is why a mutation is damage to the DNA in the original message carried by that cell. The original message is the original message. Allah makes no mistake. So what we're talking about right here, a lot of this also is protection. Because without it, you're not living to your fullest potential. Do you know this actually has an interaction with what is known as free radicals? And when you hear this, it's so many levels you can perceive this demonstration. Free radicals, this is dealing with the unstable atom. That has an effect on other molecules and cells in your body, taking away electrons, making them unstable, which leads to disease.
Organs and stuff, yes.
Parkinson's,
Yes.
Alzheimer's,
Yes.
okay? Cancer.
Yes.
That's free radicals. That's due. So what melanin does, it actually captures, if you will, these free radicals and either eliminates them or uses the energy in a constructive way.
Right.
What is that? That's known as efficiency. It's all due to melanin. It's not Moorish. Melanin is in your pineal gland. We're talking about the geometric center of your brain, which is the location of the third eye chakra. You have 7 primary chakras, which are, and chakra is a Sanskrit word for wheel, because they're energy centers or vortices in the body. Root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown. Okay? The pineal gland is associated with the third eye chakra. Now, as some of us know the story of Jacob, when he wrestled with the man, or the angel, if you will, all night, until release me, I'm not going to release you until I get a blessing. And the blessing was his holy name. He got his ill. And for us, this is a metaphysical. That's a metaphysical demonstration for us. Having to wrestle with ourselves, the higher self and the lower self, to get your blessing.
Wow.
He got his holy name, Israel. And he said the name of this place is what? Pioneer. Okay? Because here, Panail, I see the face of God. I see the face of Il. So, it is through the third eye chakra, which is another reason why the sisters wear your buttons in the crown center of your turbans, which is also symbolic of activating the pineal gland or the third eye chakra. This is your conscious connection with your higher self. Islam Moorish.
Yes, yes,
Okay, we're going to stop right there, brothers and sisters. But I want you to keep your notes. And we want to move forward with our notes in progression. Because we're talking about how to do our part to try to save our children's souls and make sure that they're achieving earthly and divine salvation. This is all dealing with our children. We didn't even begin to talk about the coming together of husband and wife yet. We're not even there yet. Right now, we're still focusing on ourselves, getting our minds right. But I want to take us back to let you know how wonderful and blessed you are. We're holy people. The prophet told the Moors that we are holy people. So we're just manifesting. This is a manifest of that divine nature that we got to get in touch with. We got to get in tune. We got to stop playing games. People think the Moorish Scientific of America is someplace you go to get information. I want the information, I want the knowledge. But what you going to do after you get it? This is about salvation. Saving ourselves and saving our families. Getting our life right. Getting our minds right. Because we've been thinking wrong. Stinking thinking. We got to clean it up. So this is why we're going through all of this stuff right here, to go through the method of cleaning up our minds. Right? So inshallah, we'll continue next week with the left off today. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for your attention. Peace, Moors.
Thank you.
So are you.